scriptures. There are several prophecies of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, given in Hindu scriptures. It's mentioned in the Bhavishya Purana, Parva 3, Khanda 3, Adhyay 3, Shlokas 5 to 8. Time will not permit me to go through all the prophecies. I'll just give the reference and give the synopsis of the prophecies. It's mentioned in these shlokas that a man would come who will be a Malecha, that means a foreigner. He'll come from Marusthal, which is a sandy tract, that is a desert. He'll come along with the companions, that is the Sahabas, and his name will be Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's further mentioned in Bhavishya Purana, Parva 3, Khanda 3, Adhyay 3, Shlokas 10 to 27. There will be a man who will come to fight against his enemy. His name will be Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And his followers will be a man who is circumcised, who will not have a tail on his head, will not have a choti or a shendi. He will grow a beard. He will give the call for prayer, that is the azan. He will create a revolution. He will eat all lawful things, but will not have the flesh of swine. He will not be purified by herbs and shrubs, will be purified by warfare. His followers will be called Musalman. This is a prophecy talking of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He further prophesied even in Bhavishya Purana, Parva 3, Khanda 1, Adhyay 3, Shlokas 21 and 23, talking about how evil has spread in the 7 cities of India, and a man will come by the name of Muhammad to purify the cities of India. He further prophesied in the Kuntap Suktas, the Atharva Ved, book number 20, hymn number 127, verse number 1 to 14. It says, a person will come by the name of Kaurama. Kaurama, one of its meanings means the Prince of Peace, and the other meaning is an immigrant. And Prophet Muhammad was both. He was the Prince of Peace as well as an immigrant. He migrated from Makkah to Medina. He will have 60,090 enemies, which is approximately the number of people that were against the Prophet in Makkah. It further says that he will ride a camel. And it says he'll be called as Vishvis Reb. Vishvis Reb means one who praises. If you translate to Arabic, it means Ahmad. He further prophesied in Atharva Ved, book number 20, hymn number 21, verse number 6, talking about the battle of Ahzab, that a man will come by the name of Qaru, meaning one who praises. In Arabic, it's Ahmad, which is the other name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he will fight against the enemy, which will be 10,000 in number, and he will win the battle without the battle being fought. This is exactly what is mentioned in the seerah of the Prophet, and even given in the Quran in Surah Ahzab. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam further prophesied in Atharva Ved, book number 20, hymn number 21, verse number 7, that he will overpower 20 kings and 60,099 enemies. We know that there were about 20 tribes at the time of the Prophet who were against the Prophet. And the enemies were about 60,000 in number. And this man will be called as Abandhu. Abandhu means one who is helpless and orphan. It also means one who's praiseworthy. If you translate into Arabic, it means Muhammad, which is the name of the last and final messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The same prophecy is also repeated in Rig Ved, book number 1, hymn number 53, verse number 9. Only the name is changed from Abandhu to Sushrama, which also means one who's praiseworthy. If you translate into Arabic, it means Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is also prophesied in Psalm Ved, Agni, mantra number 64, saying that this prophet, he will not go to his mother for milk, and he will not be breastfed by the mother. And you know Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was not breastfed by his own mother, but by Dai Halima. There are several prophecies. Time will not permit me to go into details. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is prophesied as Ahmad. That means one who praises, which is another name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in several places. In Psalm Ved, Uttarchik, mantra number 1500. In Psalm Ved, Indra, chapter number 2, mantra number 152. In Yajur Ved, chapter number 31, verse number 18. In Rig Ved, book number 8, hymn number 6, verse number 10. In Atharva Ved, book number 8, hymn number 5, verse number 16. In Atharva Ved, book number 20, hymn number 126, mantra number 14. In several places, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been prophesied as Ahmad. Furthermore, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also been prophesied as Narashansa. Nar in Sanskrit means a man, Shansa, coming from the word prashansa, meaning praiseworthy. So narashansa means one who's praiseworthy. So narashansa means a man who is praiseworthy, which is the literal translation of the Arabic word Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mentioned by name as narashansa in several places in Hindu scriptures. In Rig Veda, book number 1, chapter number 13, verse number 3. In Rig Veda, book number 1, chapter number 18, verse number 9. In Rig Veda, book number 1, chapter number 106, verse number 4. In Rig Veda, book number 1, chapter number 142, verse number 3. In Rig Veda, book number 2, hymn number 3, verse number 2. In Rig Veda, book number 5, hymn number 5, verse number 2. Rig Veda, book number 7, hymn number 2, verse number 2. In Rig Veda, book number 10, hymn number 64, verse number 3. Rig Veda, book number 10, hymn number 182, verse number 2. It's also mentioned in Yajurveda, chapter number 20, verse 37. Yajurveda, chapter number 20, verse number 57. Yajurveda, chapter 21, verse number 31. Yajurveda, chapter 21, verse 55. Yajurveda, chapter number 28, verse number 2. Yajurveda, chapter number 28, verse number 19. Yajurveda, chapter number 28, verse number 42. Yajurveda, chapter 29, verse number 27. I can keep on quoting and giving references only of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in Hindu scriptures. Time will not permit us. For more details, surely you can refer to my video cassette, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Hindu scriptures. I would just like to briefly mention about one more prophecy which is very important in the Hindu scriptures about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is about Kalki Avatar. He's prophesied in Bhagavad Purana, Khand 12, Adhyay 2, mantra number 18 to 20. It says that in the house of Vishnu Yas, the noble-souled Brahmin, who is the chief of the village of Sambhala, will be born the avatar by the name of Kalki. And he will have 8 spiritual powers. He'll be Lord of the universe. He'll be given a white horse and he will fight against the devil. A similar prophecy is repeated in Bhagavad Purana, book number 1, hymn number 3, mantra number 25, with the addition that he'll be born in the womb of Sumati. He further prophesied in Kalki Purana, chapter number 2, verse number 4, 5, 7, 11, 15. Point number 1. He'll be born in the house of Vishnu Yas. That means his father's name will be Vishnu Yas. Vishnu means God. Yas means servant, servant of God. And the name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's father was Abdullah, which if you translate into English, it means servant of God. Point number 2 is his mother's name will be Sumati. Sumati means peaceful. It means serenity. If you translate into Arabic, it means Amina, which is the name of the mother of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Third point is that he will be born in the village by the name of Sambhala. Sambhala means a home of peace, a place of peace, which is nothing but Makkah, where the beloved Prophet was born. The fourth point is he'll be born in the chief of the village of Sambhala, and we know Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born in the family of Quraysh, which was the chief of Makkah. It further says, point number 5, that he will be an Antim Rishi. He'll be the last and final messenger, which is mentioned in the Quran in Surah Azab, chapter 33, verse number 40, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last and final messenger. Point number 6, he will be born on the 12th month of Madhav. And we know some of the records say that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born on 12th Rabi Awwal. It further says, point number 7, that he will get the first revelation on the mountains. And then he'll migrate northwards and come back. We know Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first revelation he got was in Jabal Nur, the mountain of light in Gare Hira, and later on he migrated northwards towards Medina and came back. Point number 8 says that he will have graceful qualities. Point number 9 says he'll be given 8 spiritual qualities, which are wisdom, self-control, revealed knowledge, respected lineage, valor, that is strength, measured speech, utmost charity, and gratefulness. All these 8 qualities befit no one but the last and final messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Point number 10 says, he will be a teacher to the full world. He'll be a universal messenger, which is mentioned in Surah Sabah, chapter number 34, verse number 28. It further says, he will be given a white horse by the Devtas, by the angels. He will ride a horse with the sword in the right hand. Point number 13, that he will fight against the enemies and will kill the wicked people. Point number 14 says that he will be helped by 4 companions, talking about the first 4 Khulfa Rashidin, Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Usman, Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with them all. And the 15th point is that he will be helped by the angels in the battlefield, which we know that in the battle of Badr, it's mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Imran, chapter 3, verse 123 and 125.